Repeat, please.
Are you ready to take the group quiz now? Did those answers help or walk through?
Yeah, I hope so. I just didn't finish, but I just start some of it. Okay. Number 3 says, use the normal probability apple to find the standard normal curve, that is the right of z equals 1.358, and to the left minus 1.350. My answer was 175. Do you have a different answer? I'm sorry, I'm not sharing the screen. Sorry.
No, you're okay. We have it all pulled up. Are we supposed to round to 3 decimal places, so it'd be 0.175?
Yeah.
I got 0.174.
Okay, so it took both of them?
I guess so.
It's weird. Sometimes it's like picky and sometimes it's not.
And then the one question that we have to do to 4 decimal places is like, that is evil. Like one question out of the entire quiz, we have to do 4 instead of 3. Like, that's weird, but whatever.
I didn't notice that.
So the problem is that we have a different answer because of the rounding or because of the formula?
The rounding.
Okay. Now I try to run my answer in Excel. It helps.
So Trisha, you got 174, and it said that was also correct.
It did. I got a point for it. So yes, you can be 1 digit different than. Did I not round? Did you guys round your numbers?
I got 175. I don't remember what the actual calculation.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's like 1748. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so I didn't round. Well, that surprises me because I would have thought they would deduct for that, but oh well.
Yeah, weird.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna share the screen again.
Okay. Well, they didn't say round up, so there you go.
That is true. It says round 2, 3.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So who's next?
I can read it. Which of the following will have a smaller standard deviation if 9 observations are randomly drawn from a population? I would say the distribution of sample means, right? Because then that would be the standard deviation over the square root of n.
Yeah.
Is that right or no?
That's what I got, and it said it was right, but I kind of just guessed on that. But I think it's because the distribution of the sample means is more like if you had 9 of the, or
say like your standard deviation would be 5. So in an individual observation, right, the standard deviation would just be 5. But if we have 9 observations, it would be like the standard deviation of 5 divided by the square root of 9.
Okay.
That's how I'm interpreting this.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought the same, that if you have division, it's I'm just checking if I thought the right way or I'm just making up things. I thought that it was the sample means because read the question again. Yeah, the standard deviation is smaller because you have less chances to, like the large of the distribution numbers, like when you have more samples or more population, the numbers are closer. Can you understand that or no? Oh, sorry. Well, I don't know if I'm explaining
Yeah, because I
correctly.
think the sister, I mean, the owner is gonna wait for me until March.
Yeah, I got a little confused, not gonna lie.
That is okay.
Okay, work. Let me take notes. I need to work on question 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I don't know how many chances there.
Yeah,
Whatever.
question 5.
I can read it. Which of the following results implies that the spread of mean of x or sample mean of x decreases as the sample size increases? And I also said the law of large numbers, since that it's all about the sample mean.
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
It's a good opportunity.
Then
Okay.
You guys ready for the next one?
yeah,
You always
please.
do.
Okay. Use the following information to answer the next 4 questions. Scores on the quantitative portion of the GRE are approximately normally distributed with a mean mu of 150.8 and a standard deviation sigma of 8.8. Diane earned a score of 160 on the quantitative portion of the GRE. What is the z-score corresponding to Diane's score? Round your answer to the 3 decimal points.
Sorry.
So I got 1.045.
That's what I got to do.
Sorry.
Working.
Can you repeat, please, Trish?
You want me to repeat what I got?
Yeah, I think that's what she wants. I know.
I think so. Hey, Ellen, I think you're muted.
Yeah, she did that because
Oh.
Because there's a lot of noise here.
Oh, gotcha.
But I just want to know if it was the same or a very different answer.
I got the same answer as you.
Yep, you got it right, Ellen. Okay, I can read 7. What is the probability that a randomly selected student will score above 160 on the quantitative portion of the GRE? So I haven't fully filled this out, but I can figure it out really fast. I don't have the app pulled up yet. Sorry. 1 point.
Or anyone else that have
0.1, yeah. I just got 0.148.
Yeah, I got that. I also got 1 point or 0.148.
Okay.
Sorry.
0.148.
Mm-hmm.
Work on this one with different numbers.
Yeah.
When they give me 5 scores, what I got all of the Z scores of them, but I really don't know how to manage it.
So I think for this one, let me double check what I did real quick. 150.8.
You guys talking about 8 right now? Or which one are we doing?
Yeah, number 8.
Were we
So-
supposed to average all those, or?
Yeah, so yeah, I feel like this one was confusing. So I got 2.338, which it took as the right answer. What I did for that was, so what is the z-score corresponding to the sample mean of the student's scores? So I calculated the sample mean, which was it came out to 160 actually. All those add up to 800 divided by 5. And then I plugged it into the one where, since we have a sample size of 5, I used that formula. So it was 150.8 minus 160 over the standard deviation of 8.8 divided by the square root of 5. And I came out to, when it was rounded, it was 2.338.
Okay. Was it 160 minus 150.8 or 150 minus 160?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. 160 minus 150.8. You're right.
Okay. I was just double checking those.
Okay.
So,
You first calculated the sample mean, and then the step number 2 was to what?
So yeah, so the first step was to find the sample mean of those 5 numbers, and then to plug that number as the value into the formula where you do like the value minus the mean over the standard deviation.
The value is the sample mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
do you know how to calculate the sample mean, Ellen?
I think with Excel,
Yeah, then you can finish.
like the first exercises we did, right?
Yep, you add all 5 of those numbers up, and then you divide it by 5. And that's your sample mean.
Okay, thank you.
It's on the same.
And then
Right next to Polanco.
and then the number of samples or n, it's n equals the number of samples, that it's 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
what was your z-score, Spencer?
2.338.
Huh. I got a different number. So can we go over your steps again?
Mm-hmm. So I added those 5 numbers up to get 800, then divided by 5, divided by 5 to get 160 as the mean sample. And then so I did 160 minus 150.8. And then I did standard deviation of 8.8 divided by the square root of 5.
Oh,
And then I did the value minus mean number and divided it by the standard deviation square root number.
And your z-score was, say that again?
2.338.
Okay, that's what I got for my z-score, but my answer was different than yours.
What did you? Oh, well, they're asking for the z-score.
Oh, they were asking just for the z-score. I wonder.
Yeah, we didn't need to go further than we didn't need to get the probability or anything.
Okay.
At least for that one. I think question 9, you go into probabilities using that z-score.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
For them to come over.
I haven't finished the quiz, but I think I can answer 9 better
You give me a good discount.
now.
Yeah, already. Yeah, so we can start February.
I don't know if you want to answer it
Get started.
or you wait for me, because I'm gonna take so long to answer them.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be because you're gonna have branch whatever.
Spencer, did you get 0.009 or did you round it to 0.010 off of that one?
That's the 4 decimal place one. So
Oh, okay. Yep, you're right.
for whatever reason. So I did. Yeah, I got 0.0097 for that one.
Okay.
Huh? And I got a different answer, and mine was right too. It was 0.010.
Oh,
Oh, so you rounded it up, and yeah, okay.
that's nice to know that they're not super picky about the rounding.
Yeah, because I didn't even notice that where it said round your answer to 4 decimal places.
Yeah, it's so weird, and because that like stresses me out on these assignments to like. Because
Yeah.
it's like 3 decimal places over 15 questions, and you're like, okay, there's no way that I'm going to round every single one perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know there's a little leeway.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So for 9, what I did was just put the let's see. Oh, so I just put that z-score that we got in question 8. 2.338, and I put that into the applet, and then just highlighted the blue portion, or just clicked on the portion that was above that z-score, and it came out to the 0097. So if you're still doing that problem, Ellen, that's kind of what I did.
And the other 2, I was not able, but suppose that the mean GPA of BYU Idaho students is 3.5, and the standard deviation is 0.7. It is well known that this distribution is left skewed. A random sample of N81 students can be drawn. What is the shape of the sample distribution of the variable x, which represent the sample mean of 81 students who are selected? I said approximately normal because it's a large sample.
Yep, that's what I got too.
Is it my turn to read? So for 11, what is the mean of the distribution of the sample means for all possible samples of size 81 that could be drawn from the parent population? It's 3.5, right?
That's what I got.
Okay, Mike, it's like a trick question almost.
I know. But yeah, I got 3.5 too.
You guys want me? Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat? I was not able to hear anything.
So for 11, you just want the mean of the parent population, basically, and it tells us that the mean of the GPAs is 3.5.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
And then I didn't answer this either. Not yet.
Do you want to do 12, Tricia?
Sure. What is the standard deviation of the distribution of the sample means, the sampling distribution, of all possible samples of size 81 that could be drawn from the parent population? And my answer was 0.389, and I got it wrong. So I tried it again, and another answer I got was 0.078. Could that possibly be correct?
That's what I got.
That's what I got.
Okay. I just did the math wrong, I think.
Because, right, did you just do the standard deviation divided by the square root of 81?
I'm trying to remember what I did. I did it yesterday.
I know it's hard to remember.
I think I need to bring my notes to our group meeting so I can tell you what I did because I forget. Yeah, I took 0.
Because that's what I just did. I just did 0.7 divided by the square root of 81, and I got it's like.
Yeah, that's what I did when I got it correct.
Good deal.
Okay, question 13. What is the probability that the mean GPA for 81 randomly selected BYU Idaho students will be less than 3.3? I got 0.005. Is that what you guys got?
I got 2.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, I can read 14. What is the probability that the mean GPA for 81 randomly selected BYU Idaho students will be greater than that? So do 1 minus 0.005, 0.995.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Me too.
Car. So that's a.
Can you please just remind me how so the probability, right?
Especially those.
You want us to repeat that?
Like when they ask for the probability, you use the applet to calculate that, right? The area in the applet that you choose. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm gonna mute this again. Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, so for like 13, you can plug, since we have we have a sample number of 81, you can plug that into the formula that uses the square root of the sample. And then once you put in, let's see. So for that one, it would be like 3.3 minus 3.5 divided by whatever the standard deviation is, 0.7 divided by the square root of 81. And that gets you the z-score that you can plug into the applet to get the probability.
Thanks a lot for the number 15, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't answer. Do you want me to read it without answering, or do you want to read it?
Yeah, because nobody.
Because I got stuck like 4 questions ago.
That's a typical thing, you get a couple.
Very good. We can go. Yeah, we can read it.
And then nobody.
Thanks.
Take it.
The United States Coast Guard assumes the mean weight of passengers in commercial boats is 185 pounds. The previous value was lower but was raised after a tragic boating accident. The standard deviation of passenger weights is 26.7 pounds. The weights of a random sample of 48 commercial boat passengers were recorded. The sample mean was determined to be 177.6 pounds. Find the probability that a random sample of passengers will have a weight that is as extreme or more extreme, either above or below the mean, than was observed in this sample. And then it says, no, as extreme or more extreme means that we are not only interested in values that are lower than the ones we observed, but also values that are as far away from the mean as ours in the positive direction. I feel like this was a super confusingly worded question. Like,
yeah, starting from what do they consider extreme? What is far away? What is really far away from it?
yeah, that just seemed like that. The little thing at the end just seemed kind of more confusing than clarifying. But I used kind of like the same idea from the one where we added the 5 students score GRE scores, and then you plug that sample mean into the formula. So I used for the formula, for the mean, I used the 185 pounds that the Coast Guard set, and then I used the 177.6 as the value. And with that, let's see. So I got, let's see, 185. And then the sample is the 48 passengers that they used. So I got a z-score of negative 1.920, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And then plug that into the applet. And then I just highlighted the stuff that was below that z-score and above the positive, like positive 1.920. And that probability for those 2 little sections was 0.055 when you round 3 decimals. And it said that I was right, but I was really confused about why exactly you'd count like the upper value too. I don't know. Did you guys understand that?
Because they wanted the extreme in both directions, positive and negative.
Oh, okay.
So everything below that and everything above that was extreme. So you add those 2 together and get the total probability of the 2 extremes, right?
That makes sense. Okay. Okay, yeah. That makes 1,000 times more sense than what I was thinking. So thank you, Trisha.
I had to really read that question to get what you're asking. It was pretty confusing for me too.
Yeah. Were you saying something, Ellen?
No, those are all the questions.
Okay.
But you really helped me because I didn't know how to answer, how to manage or how to use the formulas to answer all these things.
Okay, good. Demo. Sure. Okay.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad we could help. I like to use with the formulas. I have a little app on my computer. It's called Solver. I think it's only for Macs, but you could basically do the same thing in Excel. And I just set like, basically like how you can set a formula in Excel to use the values from certain cells that automatically plug into it. And then I just have like one line that's the formula, and then I just change the values that are different every time for each question, but the formula stays the same. And that way, because I always mess up the formula or I forget like if the mean or the value is supposed to go first, and that's helped a ton, is just to write out the formulas and use like the to use that app or Excel, whichever.
With your app, Spencer, are you able to put a title by it so you can remember when you apply that app?
Mm-hmm. Like for like mean or value, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it actually is. It's more like variables. So I do like in line 1 is value equals 177.6 for the last one, and then the mean equals 185, and then the actual formula you can actually write out like in parentheses value minus mean, and it takes those variables from above and puts them into the formula. So, but yeah, you could totally do the same thing in Excel.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Thank you.
No, it's still generating. So
I will do it.
He said nothing this month, so we gotta wait for it. Most likely.
That's a good idea.
I mean, he's gonna fix up his mess over here first and then last.
Okay.
So
Does anybody else have another question about the preparation or other things?
Don't see no more of that. Yep.
That's all for me this week.
I'm good.
Me too. Whose turn is it for Monday?
I can do it on Monday.
Okay.
Good.
Cool.
And then Ellen,
Okay,
you post the video.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the video and I'm gonna post it now.
Okay. Thank you.
Sweet.
No, thank you guys.
Have a
Yeah.
great
Bye.
week.
Thanks, guys. See you on
Have a
Monday.
nice weekend.
Bye.
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 Bye.